Hi, and welcome to Knitting Downsized. My name is Katie, and this is a podcast about knitting, about living in a camper full time with two kiddos and a doggy, and really just lots of knitting. Thanks for stopping by today. Today we're going to talk about some FOs that I have, some whips, some things that are in progress, and lots of dream knitting. I took a book out from the library, or actually several books from the library, and I'm really excited about some new sweaters that I want to start. So first off, I wanted to kind of introduce you to me and my family. We sold our home last May, and we decided we wanted to downsize. So we purchased a camper. We actually purchased a 38-foot tow behind. So that's one that is tongue pulled. So it's pulled by the back of your truck, like your bumper on your truck. We went through a whole winter, or a whole year actually, in that, and realized that we wanted to continue living in a camper. So we purchased a 40 some odd foot toy hauler. So my kiddos have their own room. That's their room actually right there. They have their own bed. They have all kinds of space for them to play. And we love it. We love living in a camper. It's very different. It makes you realize and appreciate things a little bit better. It makes you, I guess, place importance on things that are really, really important versus just stuff. We realized how much stuff we had when we moved, and realized that it wasn't important, that our family was important, and being able to do things with our family was important. We actually live stationary, so you guys won't ever see us travel unless we travel by vehicle. My husband actually works in town, so we are stationary. We live in a great campground here in Western North Carolina, and it's actually a tiny home village that allows us to park here as well. We have a pool and all kinds of really awesome amenities here that our kids definitely appreciate. So that's a little bit about us. We have a little dog. Her name is Maggie May. She is a Jack Russell Chihuahua, so you'll probably hear her at some point in this podcast. She's sitting on our couch watching for birds. So you'll definitely hear from her throughout the podcast, and I'm sorry. I'm not going to put her up. I like to have her here. So you might actually hear a little bit about us, about my family as well. My kiddos will probably come in. You'll probably see pictures on my Instagram. My Instagram is Knitting Downsized as well. My son, I have a 5-year-old son. He's almost 6 in October, and my daughter is 2 going on 3 in September. My son is on the autism spectrum, so some of my knitting is kind of, I guess, dependent on that, or not dependent, but it kind of revolves around that a little bit, especially for him, because a lot of his clothing has to be a certain type or a certain color. So we'll talk about a little bit about that in just a minute. So first I want to go over some of my whips, or not whips, my FOs, some things that I've done recently. I'm trying to work on making my kiddos several hats, mittens, and a sweater or 2. My goal is for my whole family to have Mountain Mist cardigans by Tincan Knits. So that's the Mountain Mist cardigan, or not cardigan, sweater by Tincan Knits. We plan to take our Christmas photos in them. They are not coordinating. They are going to be all different colors, but we live in the mountains, so I thought it would be cool for us to have matching sweaters. So the first one that I kind of finished was my husband's, because he is gigantic. He has like 7-foot long arms, and I wanted to get his out of the way. So this is his. I don't know, you can't, it's really kind of hard to see, but his is, I added the off-white collar. It wasn't according to pattern. Usually this yellow is all the way up, but I didn't want to keep the yellow that far up, so I did the off-white collar there. So it's yellow, orange, and red. He is a Toyota fan, and apparently that is the Toyota colors. So this is his. It is pretty large. I also did the off-white cuffs because I ran out of brown, about 6 rows short of finishing his second cuff. So I ripped back the other cuff and did off-white cuffs on it, which he's fine with. So I did want to mention something that I learned, I think, from the Grocery Girls and from several other podcasts. This sweater is made with worsted weight, Cascade. I think it's 220 or 2. Anyway, it's their Cascades worsted weight non-superwash. So it's heavy yarn, and because it is so large, when he put it on, the collar would go way out, and so it was really big, and he wanted his sweater closer to his neck. So I was not going to rip back or go in and cut and do sweater surgery. I just was not going to do that. So I remembered that I heard on several podcasts, like I said, that you could go in and slip stitch, do crochet slip stitch all the way around. And I did that around his collar, and just right underneath, you can't even really tell. I did it right underneath the ribbing, and it creates like this, I guess, tighter, it tightens it up a whole lot, and it fits him, and it worked. So I didn't have to take it apart and do anything crazy. I just slip stitched all the way around with the matching color, right, and I did it from the inside instead of the outside, so I just kind of slip stitched all the way around from the inside, and it worked perfectly. So I'm very appreciative of all my fellow podcasters that mentioned that route. It worked. So this is the first one that I completed. So thank goodness that's done. So I started my daughter's sweater. My daughter is a huge fan of anything purple. Ever since she was a baby, she's always, been drawn to purple of some sort or another. So hers is, once again, it's the Cascade worsted non-superwash, and I just did hers in several purples. So all of ours will have white or off-white at the top, at least the collar, by just a little bit. So I liked hers having more of that white. So there's hers, and it turned out cute. It fits her really, really well. It's a really great pattern. I haven't done many circle yoke. I usually do a raglan construction, but this is really easy. The pattern is amazing. Highly recommend that pattern. So with the leftovers, because we live in a camper, I don't have a whole lot of storage for extra bits and bobs of yarn. And actually up there, I don't know if you probably can't see it, it's way back there, but I have a really big under the bed storage box, and it's my yarn. I told my husband that was the one thing I wasn't giving up. You can take all of our furniture and all of my clothes and all of my shoes, but you cannot take my yarn. So it is up there in like I said, an under the bed box, and I'm trying to reduce that because we do need as much storage as possible in our camper. So I'm trying to use every bit and bob that I can. I don't really like to throw away yarn and then I get stuck with it for forever. I'm sure you guys have experienced that as well. So I had a pattern that I really wanted to try. It's the Speedy Selbu mittens by Skeindeer. Ellie, I don't remember her last name, I'm sorry, but they're Speedy Selbu. I've only made one other pair of mittens before by Tincan Knits, the world's simplest mittens. I made those a couple years ago and loved them, and I wanted to try some colorwork mittens. I teach a knitting class in our neighborhood 2 days a week, and I have one of my students in the knitting class is Norwegian, and so we talk a lot about Scandinavian knitting and just, you know, different Norwegian knitting, and it's really awesome. So I wanted to try these so we could get her hooked on them and get her a pair as well. So I wanted to work them first, and then hopefully we'll get her a pair soon. So once again, I wanted to use all the yarn that I had from her sweater. Now, these are not perfect. Sometimes I get ahead of myself and do the wrong color, or I mess up. But let me tell you, these, I am a fairly quick knitter, and I probably did these in 3 hours, not including the thumb. The thumb did take a little bit longer, and they're not blocked, unfortunately. But I love the edges. Once again, they're not blocked. Don't judge me. So they're not blocked. But this is, you know, the really cool side, and then the backs. See, I kind of messed up a little bit there, but, you know, whatever. I'm still going to wear. So this is the back and the thumbs. This one, the back is a little bit better. I followed direction a little bit better instead of getting ahead of myself there. But, yeah. So I love these. Once again, Cascade worsted. They're awesome. They fit really well. They are a little long. My student that I want to get her to make a pair, she is very petite, and her fingers were kind of right here at the top of this before you do the decreases. So I think we're going to use probably a little bit thinner weight yarn, maybe a DK, so that way they'll fit her a lot better. So that's those. And I have tons of worsted weight Cascade that I think from like my husband's sweater that I think I'm going to make some more pairs. So I might have, you know, red and yellow mittens. Who knows? The next couple things, like I said, I want to make sets for my kiddos. So mittens, sweaters, and hats. My son probably will not wear mittens, so I'm going to make him a pair, but he probably won't wear them. Yeah, that's just not his thing, which is fine. We might make him wear them in like the truck just to warm his hands up for just a few minutes. So I had some leftover, once again, trying to get rid of all my leftovers. I had some leftover Thick and Quick, Lion Brand Thick and Quick. So I whipped my daughter up just a cute little hat. She didn't like it until I put the pom-pom on. She's a little dramatic. So this color is awesome. I don't have the color name, but I know they still make it. I put the pom-pom on, and then she fell in love. So love it. Love the yarn. It just took me about probably an hour and a half to whip it up, and I got rid of those, you know, little bits and bobs. So I am a big fan. I love Spin Cycle yarn. I think it's gorgeous. I think they're amazing. They're a little bit out of my price range. So I found a similar yarn at my local yarn shop, which is, it's in Brevard, North Carolina, Sun Dragon Fiber Arts. I believe that's all of it. But if you if you Google Sun Dragon Fiber in Brevard, it comes right up. They are amazing, amazing folks. And right now they're doing, they are taking the week off, so they have a 20% off sale. So go and check them out. They have Feederbrook yarn, which is the long color change yarn, very similar to Spin Cycle. And I've had this skein. This is their worsted. I've had this skein for a while now, and my daughter actually picked it out when we went, and she loved it. So I whipped her up a little purple hat. Once again, purple is her thing, so everything is going to be purple. So yeah, it is. I feel like it felt, in the skein, it felt thicker than worsted, but then when I worked it up, it was perfect. I thought it would work up more of closer to Aran weight, so a little bit thicker, but it didn't. I used, I think, 7 1/8, and it was perfect. I was afraid it was going to be too dense of a fabric, but it turned out great. So I had a little bit left over and wanted to get rid of it, so I made her just some thumbless mittens. I went to the Tincan Knits World's Simplest Mittens and picked the cast on amount for her age, and I didn't do thumbs. She probably will only wear these in the truck, when we go four-wheeling or something, just to warm her hands up. We have, thicker, like, waterproof mittens that they wear whenever, we actually play in the snow and stuff. So these are just for fun and really to get rid of the yarn that I have. So I might give them to our little neighbor gal as well. So that's pretty much all of my FOs for the last few weeks. My husband's sweater took an eternity, and it was brown, so it was absolutely no fun. And honestly, I'm ready to do something other than a mountain mist cardigan, or sweater. I keep saying cardigan, but I have two more to finish. So I started mine. I am using Cascade for the top, and then I purchased Barrett Wool Home Worsted. They did a really great Black Friday sale last year, and I purchased I think about 10 skeins of different colors because I wanted to do a worsted weight cardigan and do it color worky and just a fun color work cardigan. And when I got the yarn, it wasn't exactly the color that I thought it was going to be, which is fine. It's fine. I'm using it as a different project. So it is amazing yarn. It is amazing. It is so soft and so easy to work with. I highly recommend the yarn. So the color that was a little different than what I expected was straw flower. So this is what I thought. As you can see it right now, this is what I thought it was going to be. So like a white, like slightly pink yarn. So when it works up, it is, oh, you can't really tell. It is very, very peach. I think you can see a little bit better now. Very, very peach, which is fine. I am doing a different project than I originally planned. So it works great for my mountain mist cardigan or sweater. Why do I keep calling it a cardigan? Oh. So this is the Cascade worsted, and these two are different greens from Barrett Wool Home worsted, and then this is the straw flower. So amazing, amazing yarn. Highly recommend. I would like to purchase more. And you guys will probably see more of the different colors that I purchased. I did a bunch of single skeins, so I'll probably make some mittens and hats for my family and friends. Another work in progress that I have is a hat for my son. So because my son is on the spectrum, he does not like bright colored things or things with characters on them. We actually went to Sun Dragon and I asked him to purchase yarn, or not purchase yarn, but to pick out the color that he wanted, colors for his Mountain Mist sweater. And he moved yarn out of the way and found black and said this is what he wanted. So I'm going to use dark grays and fade them into black for him. And I will probably only use 2 grays instead of 3. I want him to wear it, so I don't want to do too many colors and make him feel uncomfortable. So once again, he loves gray, loves every color of gray, loves every color of black. So I have this yarn that I ripped a shawl out. I don't really wear shawls, so I ripped a shawl out that was made with coffee break by Miss Babs. I purchased it at SAF, the Southeastern Animal Fiber Fair, which is coming up, ladies and gentlemen, too. And I don't wear shawls, so I ripped it out, and it's the Yowza, so I think it's a DK. And for some reason, I have tried 4 or 5 different projects with this yarn, and I can't seem to get gauge, or the project just stalls. So I call it my cursed yarn. And I'm tired of having it in my stash. So I am knitting it double-stranded, and I'm going to make my son a hat. I might use it for color work and a sweater for him later on, because I'm sure I'll have leftover black yarn. So I might use it for mittens or something like that. But it's turning out wonderfully, doubled, and I think he's going to really like it. So that's that. My last whip, don't like to have a whole lot of whips. They kind of give me anxiety the more that I get. My last whip is kind of on the side because I'm being lazy, pretty much. This is a cute bag my husband bought me from Hobby Lobby. It's a little drawstring bag, but it's got some cute little pockets. Love it. It's canvas. This is the Manarola by Caitlin Hunter. It is a gorgeous sweater, and I'm going to be so excited when I have it and have it made and finished and get to wear it. I'm using Harrisville Design Shetland yarn. So I picked 4 different colors. I have their hemlock, I have wood smoke, I have a brown, and then this kind of red yarn. So this is the sweater so far, and it's actually blowing it out a little bit. My lighting, unfortunately, isn't that great in the camper. So it's kind of that right there, that kind of deep greens, and I love the yarn, absolutely love the yarn, love the sweater. I'm being lazy because there are tons of rows of 3-color knitting that I didn't realize. So I think I'm going to work on maybe 1 row at a time, and until I finish. I'm almost done. I think I have like 8 more rows of 3-color at a time knitting. So I think I'm going to hopefully finish it soon, or at least get past that to where I can do just 2-color. 3-color is hard. I didn't realize how difficult it would be, especially in a project like this. I am doing 2 colors at a time. I'm kind of doing modified mosaic, so I do 2 colors at a time. The 3rd color I slip on that row, and then I come back and I slip all the stitches and work the ones that I slipped the first time that are in the 3rd color. To me, it works. You can't even tell. It works great, but it does mean you're working every row twice that has the 3-color. I was just really afraid that my floats would be messed up if I didn't, I would work the 3rd color too tight or too loose, or mess up that, and I didn't want it to pucker my knitting. So I thought doing 2 colors at one time and kind of mosaic would help, and it has. I hate that I have to do every row twice, but it works, and it makes a really great project or product. So highly recommend, highly recommend. Just do be aware that there are lots of rows of 3-color knitting. It's going to be an amazing finished piece when it's done, when I get there. Hopefully before fall is over so I can actually wear it. So, couple more things. So, what I'm wearing, this is my Ranunculus by Midori Hirose. I think everybody's in their brother has done one of these. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I did it in Juniper Moon, their linen cotton blend. I love it. It's a great sweater. I did a modified version where I didn't, I might wear that on another podcast since it's summer and the linen is really nice to wear here in the South. I did another version that's striped, and I didn't do the textured pieces. So I just did stripes all the way down, and it worked out really well as well. I do want to caution with the Ranunculus, read your directions. Don't assume you know best. I assumed in several spots that I knew best, and turns out I didn't. So on to a little bit of dream knitting. I checked out an amazing book from the library. I totally forgot that they had knitting books, and I take my kiddos to the library every week to check out books. We're a big reader family and a reading family, and totally forgot that there would be really cool knitting books there. And I saw this one, Scandinavian Sweaters. Y'all, this book, I'm gonna have to buy it. It has 25 patterns in here, or it says over 25 patterns. So a lot of the like this sweater, I believe she has made into a cardigan and a pullover. So there's some of those type sweaters in there, but it is amazing. I literally want to make every one of these sweaters. I am knee deep in color work heaven, and I love it. So I want to show you a couple of the patterns in here to encourage you to either check it out at your library or purchase the book. It's by Kristen. I am not even going to try that. Y'all, I'm from the South. We don't have amazing words like that. So, all right. So, I am going to make my husband this sweater. It's the Hurly Burly sweater. Look how amazing. I love, love, love their use of different types of color work or different motifs with different colors. I think it's just amazing. So there's that one. Another one, like I said, I want to do all of these, is the Bandit cardigan. So this is the Bandit cardigan is a sweater and a cardigan. So all kinds of pretty blues. I would probably do it in green. I'm a huge green fan. And then the sweater that I'm going to do first, because I do like a top-down raglan or a top-down circle yoke pattern. This is the Cathedral Dome. Look how gorgeous. Like I said, I love mustard. And this is actually, so it's not just color work, it's actually a little bit of texture as well. She's added some purl stitches into the color work. So it's pretty amazing. So I'm going to start with this one to kind of get my handle on how she writes her patterns, and then work on one of the hardcore ones. I really would like to make more of one of the traditional Scandinavian cardigans that I've never steeked anything before, so I really would like to steek something. My last piece of dream knitting, my best friend is with Swamp Bunny Fiber. Swamp Bunny Fiber and Goods. It is a mother-daughter, and they dye yarn. They are actually from Black Mountain, North Carolina. They are amazing, and I love them. So when my daughter was born, she dyed this worsted. It's a mustardy. I'm trying to kind of get it to where you can see. It's a really good mustard. I love a good mustard. She made my daughter a shawl, because every newborn needs a shawl. And then she made me some sari. So my dream knitting is to make a V-neck sari, like worsted, chunky, short sleeve sweater probably, and purchase some Lucy and Yak velvet green overalls. That's like my dream look for this fall. So that's about it today. I plan to have a podcast once a week. So hopefully every Thursday I'll be posting. My daughter is at Mother's Day out today, so it makes it easy for me to podcast. So I guess that's it. I hope you enjoy your knitting this week, and have a great day. Bye.